Hi Facebook, we're coming to you today live from Rythmia Life Advancement Center in Costa Rica. I'm going to wait for traffic to build a little bit. I'm going to ask for a special favor today. If at any time that something strikes a chord with you in this process today, please let us know by hitting the share button. I want everybody to share this if they can. Please share this. Interesting thing, Facebook changed its algorithm. So sorry about that. So it just came in. That's okay. So Facebook changed its algorithm, and your sharing this has become more and more and more important. So please share it. Well, who are we? We are Rythmia Life Advancement Center in Costa Rica, and what are we? We are a plant-based, sacred plant medicine-based, metaphysical healing facility in Guanacaste, Costa Rica. We use all kinds of modalities, ranging from plant medicine, ayahuasca, to metaphysical teachings, to plant medicine, to organic food, to guest speakers, all kinds of stuff. This week we had Dr. Mercola here. It was fantastic and had a wonderful time. We had about 80 people here, and the miracles were amazing and deep and beautiful, and a little bit about what we believe in so that you see what's going on. My name's Gerry, and I was just a bad guy. I was a fairly wealthy guy. I sold some companies, and I made a bunch of money. I was a wealthy guy, but what happened is I was a real terrible guy. I was a piece of shit. And I went through this process of plant medicine, and it saved my life. And I'm here to help and to do it with other people. And every week we're doing it, and this is what we believe in. And it's a long story as to why we believe in this. Would you do me a favor? There's on my counter in there. On that counter. There's some books. Shit the Moon Said books. You see them? Nice. Thanks, brother. There's a reason why we do this. I want you to buy this book. Please buy this book. This book is going to help you understand what we're doing. It's called Shit the Moon Said. It's an amazing book about a miracle that happened to me. So this is what we believe. And this came from the moon. Yeah, that's what I said. Came from the moon. That sometime between when you're conceived and 5 years old, something happens in your life that makes you leave your soul. You're still in your aura, but it makes you leave your soul. Hey Dave, hi Jennifer, hi April. It makes you leave your soul. And in this process, this split, out of the longing for these two to come back, all disease, all addictions, all disorders, and all sadness occur from this split. And life itself is this remembering or forgetting and then remembering that you were once together and putting you back and forth. Hey Karen, hey Justina, hey Teresa, hey April. We're going to answer questions you guys have as we go. If it came from the moon, go Raiders. That's right. That's a little joke. Hey Claudia, hey Ryan. So we want to talk about this. And each week we have these miracles. And what's interesting about our place is that we send people a survey while they're still here or while they're leaving. And in that survey, we asked them if they had a life-changing miracle during their stay. And about 96 out of 100 do. That's true. And now here's the interesting part. We surveyed them again at 3, 6, and 9 months, and they still have this. This miracle is permanent, and it's the miracle of merging your soul back into yourself. And what's interesting, it's the miracle of the medicine. So our intention is 3 things. Show me who I become, merge me back with my soul, and heal my heart. The medicine is trying to do the same thing for us. It's the intention of the medicine to work with us and do this for us. So I'm going to really, really ask you something today. That please press share. Please share this. I ask this from time to time, but I really mean it today because we can't help people unless this thing gets shared. So please share it because there are people out there who need this. As a matter of fact, I think everybody needs it. and we had a super deep week. It was a couple crazy nights, beautiful nights, deep nights, and you know, we just had a crazy week. So I want to invite a guest in. Please come on in for a second. This is a friend of ours. Will you say
Hey, Gerry.
Hey, man.
Hi.
Will you say your first name for everyone?
It's Ken Childs. I'm from Canada.
Canada?
Where it's really cold and snowing and it's awful right now. So Costa Rica is really
It's
the best
like
place
there's
to
a
be.
vortex somewhere around Bloor Street,
Yeah.
and it sucks them through down right down here.
It's like a portal.
It's a portal.
That's it.
And
down.
as soon as I met you, I knew
Yeah.
you were a wild man. I knew that you were a wild. You have
Yeah.
the look of a wild man.
Yeah. Yes, thank you.
So he's here with his lovely, gorgeous wife, and can you tell a little bit? Can I just ask you a couple
Sure.
things? So, in your life, have you done plant medicine before?
No, that's about the only stuff I've not touched.
Well, cocaine's plant medicine.
Well, okay, yes, true, too. It's a little bit,
Like,
I know you got me, but it's been played with a little bit.
so in your professional life, what have you done? Tell me.
Well, I've done like LSD, mushrooms, uppers, downers.
Were you a big drinker?
Coke. Yes, big drinker. I own bars.
So tell me, in your life, you were a nightclub owner, or a bar owner, or a restaurateur?
And I was going through when this particular time at the very low point in my life, I was going through a nasty divorce, and my escape was drinking, partying, doing all the things I really shouldn't have been doing. It was a death spiral. And,
How old were you?
I was going through, I think it was like my 40s when this was happening. But I've always had a very, I was doing acid when I was like 12.
Wow, that's awfully
13, something like that.
Fantastic.
Yeah.
That shows why you're such a cool guy. So here's the thing. So it's a successful life. You have bars and restaurants.
Yep.
You got into the restaurant business as a child, right?
Yep.
You worked in restaurants as a kid.
Right.
And that's kind of a fast-paced, high anxiety kind of business.
Right.
And with a lot of drinking and probably some women thrown in the mix there.
Yep.
And a little cocaine. Basically a life well lived. No, I'm
Right.
so,
We have such a parallel. I listen to your story and I go, that's me. In a way, except for the Lamborghini, not that part.
So one thing leads to another, and you marry this beautiful woman, right? And
Yes.
you're
She saved me.
still kind of in the food business in Canada.
Yes, I've kind of stepped out. We sold our restaurant, one of our restaurants, and now it's my wife and daughter are looking after the other part, which is a gluten-free vegan bakery. Very successful.
Can you say its name?
Kelly's Bake Shop, and it's done number 3 in BuzzFeed as the top bakeries to visit before you die. And Kelly's like a celebrity. She's on TV all the time. She's got a blog. She just wrote a book called Made with Love, and that's a cookbook lifestyle book. And she's writing another one right now with her daughter. So she's done incredibly well. Hi, Erin. How are you?
Hi, Erin.
That's her daughter.
I love that.
Yeah.
And so you're still kind of in the food business. You meet this beautiful lady.
Yep.
You guys have been together
17 years,
17
but
years.
Married 10 now.
You're married 10.
As of yesterday.
As of yesterday, we came here for a
Happy
honeymoon.
anniversary. That's a beautiful
Another
thing.
honeymoon.
I love that.
Yeah.
And so can I tell you why Rythmia and why plant medicine?
Well, I've been searching for answers for a very long time, and I got into the spiritual journey years and years ago, and I've been all through India, Thailand, Bali. I've hung out with monks, I've slept in ashrams, I've slept at monasteries, I've studied, I've shaved my head, my beard, my eyebrows, everything while living in these places, and just to feel that extra little bit that I've always been missing. And it's so funny because through these journeys that I've been taking and doing, as I've graduated and always felt more and more aligned with myself, I've said, okay, I've never tried ayahuasca. This is something that I've read about, and I started studying a little bit about it, and I said, you know what, maybe this is the key that I'm looking for. And so I asked Kelly if she wanted to go, and she says, well, I'm not sleeping on a dirt floor, and lions, tigers, and bears up the Amazon, so we're going to go somewhere else. And Rythmia came around, and I was like,
When you say came around, you saw it on a
Online,
news feed or
yep.
something? Okay.
and then I started watching YouTube about people that were here,
Uh-huh.
and I said, okay, this is the place that we're going.
Oh, fantastic.
Yep.
So can I ask you this? Were there, like, this is a big thing, and this is a super hard week. I tell people out there that it looks easy, but it's hard. This is
Very.
work. This is not for someone who does not want to work, who's not committed to it.
Yep.
But you work, but you come in and you have these apprehensions. Everybody must.
Yep.
So you come into a strange place, and you're thinking, were you afraid of ayahuasca at all?
No, I was kind of afraid, like I think a lot of people are, as to what's in that closet, what's in that closet full of skeletons. We all have it. At some point, as you described, we split. And that's what I try to describe as I lost something. There was something else. There's a part of me that I haven't found yet, and so I've been looking for it. And so the apprehension was, what am I going to find? And I've talked to people as they're going through the process, and as they're getting very close, they start backing up a little bit.
Absolutely.
They back up and they go, oh my God, am I going to really, go in there and do that? And to me, I call it like, I've been writing a blog about it, and it's going to be called Walking into the Fire.
I love that.
Because that's exactly what it is. And what you said is 100% true. It's not easy. Like, you got to lean into this, and you got to plow into it, because you got to let anything happen and totally open yourself up and be ready for anything, because the answers are there, and they come in these crazy ass little nuggets, and then you think about it and you go, what the hell happened last night? And this, and you from seeing obscure visions to...
So can I talk about that a second?
Yeah.
So I want to say two things. Hi to my mother, who's 84 years old in Pennsylvania. I hope you're there, Mom. I miss you. Hi to my wife, who I love and miss so much. I'm going to ask everybody one more time to share this before he gets into exactly what happened. So you have this metaphysical class on Monday, which is just a class of me talking, saying fuck a lot, basically, and what happened to me. And then we have Dr. Mercola, let's say Monday, and then it's time to go up and drink medicine. So it's Monday night. It's Brazilian medicine night, which is very calm of the medicines, a calm medicine. And so you go up there and you drink it and you lay down, and what goes on?
Well, first off, it's like, I got to say, the surroundings are absolutely beautiful. You've got these great beds, beautiful fluffy pillows, blankets. It's a safe environment. There's a doctor there. There's a nurse. Then everybody is obviously here exceptionally well trained, so you feel safe. That's the number one thing. You've got to be able to feel safe in your environment. So, 100%, 10 out of 10. That's what I felt coming in. When I got up there to drink my medicine, I think I was like this, because I was like so nervous, right? I was
human.
Freaked out. Yeah, I was like, okay, what's going to happen? This is a potion, it's not like drinking champagne by any means, but I sipped it and I laid down. I said, okay, and I totally opened up. And I was, before we got here, I have a very good meditation practice. I'm 2-3 hours a day in the morning and at night. And so I was doing that, and I was putting my intentions already before getting here, because I watch your videos. Your videos are really, really good. And how to prep for this. So I prepped, and then when I got here, I leaned into it, and I did all my meditations. And that day, I did a big long one in the morning. So I was prepared and I was ready. So when I laid down, I just said, give it to me. Just tell me what I need to know, show me what I need to see. And I think Mother Ayahuasca goes, okay, I'm going to teach you something, because I went through the ringer that night.
And the ringer means just like the ringer.
Yeah.
Like what is the ringer?
So the ringer is you go through these waves. And so you feel great for a minute, and then all of a sudden the music will change, and the shamans know this, how to time it, because about half an hour, 20 minutes after you drink it, your stomach starts going like this. And so the music will change, and it'll give you an aggravation. That's what I call it. And then it's meant to start letting things boil and bubble, and your emotions start coming up, and then you can hear some people crying, and then all of a sudden you can hear people throwing up, because you're purging those negative energies, those feelings. Eckhart Tolle calls them pain bodies. So you got a pain body, and we take your pain. So let's just say somebody told you to go screw yourself, and it happened to be your mother at a very early age, and all of a sudden that goes inside of you, and it sticks inside of you, like you said. And so you carry these things around, and you're collected, so little tiny, like you say, garbage bags inside, and then you're full of these things. So when you doing your purging, they're coming out, they're coming up. These are like stored negative energies that boil up and they come out. And so I was going through this process, but mine was in the form of violent vomiting. And actually, in a bizarre way, I don't know if it's sadistic, but it felt good.
It does.
Because I knew I was getting rid of stuff. I was going, here's another one. Goodbye, goodbye, goodbye. And at the end of the whole thing, we'll get to that, but yabba dabba do.
Okay, so now here's the thing. So when that stuff starts coming out, and you know there's nobody who can help you, it's a feeling of really I'm alone right now, right? Like I can't stop this. I can't put it on pause. I'm out of control, right? I'm out of control. And then all of a sudden, the things that you're throwing up, you identify with, right? And so that's night one. So you get done night one and you say, hey, honey, are we sure that we're doing the right? Are we sure we're doing the right?
Kelly did that. She did that at night number 3. That was a big one for her. A big one for me too. But yes, you're absolutely right. You then start questioning. Wow, did I come here just to be in pain? And you know what? We all go to the dentist. Do we enjoy that? But we go how many times to the dentist to go and fix things? So you have to consider a lifetime full of hurts and uncomfortableness and pain and some suffering, a lot of suffering that we go through in life. And it's not just going to come out in flowers and fairies and butterflies are going to happen. It comes out the way it's been sitting in you. And that is like ugly and awful, but it is the best thing you can do for yourself.
So I want to ask you something. So now this talk goes on about merging with your soul and things like that. And did you believe that would happen or not? Like, was it a belief behind it, or were you just saying it's a crapshoot, it might happen, it might not happen?
Well, first, the whole concept is like, who believes in this stuff in the first place, right?
Yeah.
I mean, it's
well
like,
said.
right, and because I think I've gone through enough of, say, studying Buddhism, Hinduism, Tantra, yoga, and all that, Eastern philosophies. You start, Yogananda, you read his book, Autobiography of a Yogi, and these things happen, and these have been traditions, like all different, ancient traditions have their own form of purging.
Yes.
And they do their own ceremonies in their own ways. And this one in particular, like that I experienced is not the pleasant form of it.
It's the rough form, yeah.
It is.
It's the scouring of the thing.
Right.
So now, this thing, though, getting back to the merging of the soul, did you buy onto it? Did you buy into the idea?
Well, I came here because I believe that does happen.
Okay.
And it can happen.
Okay.
And so I was already of open mind to it. And I think everybody that comes here has some belief going, first off, they would love it to happen. So then they believe that it can happen, but are they completely committed in their hearts for it to happen? And I think those that are still holding back, it doesn't happen to, at least not on the level.
That it could.
Yeah.
Yeah. So let's talk about that instead. So I want to stay with this. So I'm going to jump around a little bit.
Sure.
This because we're going to get to the merging part last. But I want to talk. Did you have any surgery at all?
I did, actually.
So tell me about your surgery.
First off, when I knew Gerry from YouTube, right? That's about it, right? And so there's Gerry up there in the room, and I'm in the room the first day. Gerry's talking. He just starts his talk about what his life was. And I felt, did I buy tickets to the comedy festival or what? Because it was the funniest thing I've ever heard. And he's just such a wonderful orator and very talented and explaining your story. I forgot now. What did you say?
Did you have sacred surgery?
Oh, secret surgery. So anyway, sacred.
Yeah.
So
no
Gerry starts talking about aliens, right? So operating on you, and I'm like, well, I might have seen an alien once or twice in my life. Maybe, I'm not sure. And lo and behold, on my second night, I felt a little. On my third night, I was actually talking with aliens while they were doing surgery on my face. I am not kidding. And you know, guys, trust me on this. It's like, I'm one of these skeptics about a lot of things to a degree when it comes like to aliens. But that night, I totally experienced this bizarre encounter, and it was not fearful. I was not afraid.
Were they talking to?
Yeah.
Or were they just working? Were they talking amongst each other?
Yes.
Normally what happens.
They were talking amongst each other, and
They're
they
like,
were,
hey Bob, move him over and shit, right?
yeah,
It's crazy.
yeah, show him this, you know, like, yeah, it was crazy.
Now, fortunately, he's not employed, or that would have been all over right now.
Yeah, that's it, right.
But that surgery thing, when you see what happens to people that have surgery, that have pre-existing conditions,
Yep.
it's the most unbelievable thing in the world that they can be healed through this act of sacred or celestial surgery.
Yep.
And when I was talking about it, and you're a guy who believes a lot of shit, I remember looking at your face and you're kind of thinking, this guy's full of shit. So, and then it happens, right?
And it happens.
So that I just wanted other people to know. And when we're done, we're going to answer questions, anybody has questions. But I want to go to the next thing now. So the money shot, the big thing. So this healing and merging back with our soul. So you did a lot of work in your life
Yep.
at looking at yourself.
Yep.
I understand you were, I'm going to use the word a playboy, like
Right.
a knockaround guy, a playboy,
Yeah.
a da-da-da-da-da. And then you reformed and spent your life like trying to reflect on
Yeah.
who you were. So this is not something that was new. And so this opportunity comes to merge back with your soul. What did that look like? What night did it happen? Tell me the thing.
So what's really interesting is that every night, every new experience picked off where the left one finished. So I kind of graduated through this, and there was never any reruns of the same thing. And I was looking at, experiencing different aspects of my life and feelings and emotions. Even though that sometimes I couldn't see it, I could feel it.
Uh-huh.
So as I was laying there going, I'm thinking of this. Why am I thinking of this? And then you would relate it back and you go, oh. It was one of those little aha moments as I was going through everything. And so at the 11th hour on
Thursday night?
Thursday night,
Colombian night?
Columbia night, and with the shaman, it's spectacular. Like the ceremony is breathtaking, to be honest with you. It's like, wow, I'm like, you buy tickets to this kind of stuff, right? Well, we did, but you know what I mean? It was just like, it's a beautiful presentation, and the process and everything, it's so artistic. And I was laying in bed and I couldn't get up because I was just going through so much shifting and so much emotions, and it was showing up in so many different ways. They did four where they bless you, 4 blessings.
Yeah.
So I missed the first 3, even though they were happening right in front of me. I just couldn't get out of bed.
I know that one.
Yeah. And then, and the last one, it was like, time to do this. I have to do this no matter what. And I was thinking prior to that, I was going, okay, I came all this way. I still don't have my answer. I'm very close. I know I'm very close, but I still don't have it. So this is do it or, forget it. So I kind of put my hand over my mouth because I was at the verge of vomiting the whole time. And I sat down and the ceremony started.
With the blessing from...
With the blessing, from the blessing. And then when he got to me, all of a sudden I kind of just like, so there were strings on me just kind of lifting me up and then packing me close together so like I wasn't, so falling apart. And all of a sudden I was just in this weird space, awesome, beautiful space, protected space. And then it was like somebody turned on car headlights in my face. And I just saw white. And then right away, the incident that I was looking for revealed itself right in front of my face.
Which was?
Which was my brother. And my brother, and I've been probably, we haven't seen each other in 10 years, but when I was a kid, he ditched me. He just like get out of my life kind of thing. And I totally understand why, because I was an idiot. I was a little shithead. And he was, you know, he was going in a direction, and I was going in a very bad direction at a very young age. And so he just said, you know, just basically, you're just, you know, I don't have time for you. And I didn't realize how much that impacted me until that happened that night, on Thursday night. It just went bang and hit me. And I went, that's it, because I totally lost it. I crumbled.
Were you crying?
I bawled. I had snot running down my face. I was bawling. I was convulsing. I was uncontrollable. I've never, ever had a release like that in my life, ever. I completely fell apart. And then, right beside that emotion was the visual of me when I was a boy, a young little boy. And I said, there he is.
There he is.
There he is. That's me. That's that little boy that got lost.
I love that.
And then I just went and grabbed him, and I pulled him in, and I just bawled
And that's it.
for hours.
And that is it.
And I just said, I will never leave you again. I'll protect you forever. And it's just been such an incredible feeling. I feel whole. I feel whole again. And it's just mind-blowing. And the bizarre thing is, I've been to seeing psychiatrists, like psychologists and that throughout my life, you know, over issues. And they all say, whose love did you want most? Your mother or your father? And I could never answer that question, because it wasn't either of them. It was my brother.
How beautiful is that, though?
It's always been my brother, and I've never been able to see it until that moment. It's just like,
Well, I want to.
So I got what I got what I came for.
You're such a wonderful and
Thank you.
sincere guy. You're so sincere. And when I watched you that night, like I watch everybody while they're in this process, and I saw what was going on with you. I didn't know specifically what was, but I know it was coming together. It's just breathtaking stuff to watch.
Yeah.
It's the most amazing
Yeah.
stuff to see. And I thank you for that. I have a question. When they were doing surgery on you, were they in your teeth?
They were in my teeth, they were in my nose, and when I get into a deep meditation, I have this, I think it's a nerve, and can't understand it. It rides up the side of my nose, and it lands right here in my third eye. And it just becomes like a pressure point. And so when I was laying there, they're working on me, and then I just felt like, you know, when somebody puts a thumb right in your nose and starts pushing on you, and then against your whole face. And then I go, okay, you know, okay, could I be the one that's doing this? So I said, okay, I'm gonna move my nose this way, I'm gonna move my nose. And I had no control over that, because it was moving on itself, and somebody was doing it. And the pressure was really big, and they were playing with it, and I saw them doing that. I saw them coming at me with the tools, but I was just, you just let it happen.
I know.
Because it's so beautiful.
I know.
It is so beautiful.
I know.
Like, all of it is beautiful. There's nothing to be afraid of.
Yeah.
And that's the thing, because we're afraid of our feelings. And that's what it comes down. We're afraid of our hurts. So it's easier to bury them and keep packing them down. And if you're going to spend the rest of your life packing them down, you will never get your soul again until the moment that you die.
Absolutely. Yeah.
And why wait until you die to have yourself back? You can get it now. I swear to God.
I love that.
I'm
Thank you
100%.
so much, and you're such
No,
a
thank
good
you.
guy, dude. You're such a
And
good guy.
you know, what you did is you experienced what I experienced.
Yep. Same
But
thing.
you did it way before.
Not way.
Well,
Yeah.
but you know what? You then made it your mission from your heart now, which is incredible.
Yeah.
To go and have a place like this where people like me are experiencing it, and you're giving us our life back.
That's so nice of you to say.
Honestly.
It's so nice of you to
And
say.
you deserve nothing but hugs and kisses.
I
And,
love that, dude.
You know,
I
everything.
love that. And when he talks about that, I just want to say something about when it's in his teeth. So how old of a boy were you when you felt abandoned by your brother? Do you really know?
5, 6.
So here's the thing. When you start to get teeth pain in surgery, it's either from the first time you're getting teeth or the second time you're getting teeth. And they say that the pain is the pain of what was going on in the household, because the enamel encapsulates the pain into the jawbone. So these hurts that you feel hurt, oh, my teeth hurt, that's the pain of what that thing was going. And it's so bizarre that it's true. It's so crazily bizarre that it's true.
And I'm going to add to that as well, too, is that when I sleep at night, I sleep like this, and then like this, or I sleep like this, and I'm always protecting my mouth. I'm always, you ask my wife, and I push on my teeth with my tongue, and it's always around the sensitivity in there, and I go, why do I do that? Why do I do that? But now it makes so much sense.
It makes so much, everything
It makes so much
right?
sense.
I'm so happy for the experience you had and for
Yeah.
your wife, and I just want to answer some questions for you guys. Let's see here. Let me see. I got to hold my little girl. I'll be there in 2 weeks. Tanya, we'll see you in 2 weeks. Karen, we'll see you. My heart, it's been such a heal you. Can't go wrong. Fiona Mayo, we're going to see you in a couple weeks. Claudia, I don't care if I puke my brains out, which I haven't since 1989, or have diarrhea. I welcome Mother Oscar. Okay, I'll tell you something. We have something here called the Daily Double. It's when you go to the bathroom and you think you're going to have diarrhea, and you do, but you throw up at the exact same time. And it's wonderful. Did you get that?
No, I didn't. But I'm going to add something to what you were just saying. Is that in your bowels you store a lot of negative emotion, and it comes out because I know somebody, and I used to go to a manual colonic place where it was administered by somebody else, and she used to tell me that when she, after somebody would go for 3 or 4 visits or more, she would finally get the last little bit out of their bowels, and when that happens, 9 out of 10 times, those people start crying.
Yeah, they cry.
They just go boom.
So true.
Because
so
that's
true.
the release of all that negativity that's in you. So you can go and have your colonics here, which I was doing all the time, but when you're also pooping it out, you're pooping out that toxin, which is that negative energy. So in that thing too, did you do a colonic while you were here? I did 3 colonics. Four.
So when you're here, you can go to the classes, do the colonics, do the medicine, and here's what I find interesting. So I can go, and at one point I did 14 colonics in 14 days.
Wow.
And I tell you what, and then I did the medicine, and I shit like I've never had a shit before in my life. This is the crazy thing.
Where'd it come from?
Where does it come from?
Yeah.
There's just so much that we can get rid of when we're in this process. And I just want to say, honestly, dude, just thank you so much for being here.
Thank you.
I'm going to answer all these questions today. We're going to get on this. And I want to tell you what, please share this. Somebody has to see this. His story will resonate with someone. And somebody who's going through a similar thing. And we're all going through it. Here's the thing. No matter who you are, nobody escapes this split. And yet you have an opportunity to put it back together. You have an opportunity to have the dessert. You paid for the meal, and you have an opportunity to have the dessert. I want you to come and have the dessert. I want you to do that. There's a number up here, 866-936-9446. These people are standing by. They'll answer any question you have. It's not just to book this. It's to ask questions. And I want to tell you something. People are trying to do this on their own. They're trying to do it in therapy. They're trying to do it in all these different ways. And I want to tell you what. If you do it to where it's just in your conscious mind, you're never, ever, ever going to get there. You're going to conceptually get there, but you're not going to get there in your heart. No. And that's why you've got to come to a place like this. And yet you've got to have this thing open your heart. And once that happens, this connection is done from here. It changes everything. You don't even think the same way you used to think. No. It's impossible to think that way because this changed. And we want you to come here. And we want you to have this happen. And it can't be. Do me a favor. Go to our Rythmia thing, TripAdvisor thing, and see how many people are saying the same thing. And now I want to just one caveat before you come. Be prepared to work.
Yep.
Be prepared to cry. Be prepared. Did you want to leave?
No.
Did your wife want to leave? You can be honest. She ever want to leave?
She had one really, very hard night, but no, she never wanted to leave.
Most people, at some point, say, I wish I didn't come. In the first Monday, Tuesday, and Wednesday.
I never said that.
Yeah. No? Okay, good. Good, because I was give it to her if she said no. Here's the thing. It's okay, though, to know that you're going to go through some pain. There's a lot of pain associated with this kind of growth. There's no way there's no way through it without going through this piece. So please know that that's part of it when you come. And it's so worth it. It is so worth it.
You know,
right?
it's kind of like you say it's worth it, and maybe I can give an analogy to it. It's like, you know, let's just say you've been watching black and white TV your whole life, and all of a sudden now you get to watch color.
And that's the difference.
This is the difference, because now you're going to look at it. You're going to look at a bug like you've never looked at it before. You're going to go look at a flower like you've never looked at it. You're going to treat somebody that you come and encounter with like you're never going to treat them before. You're going to treat yourself differently as well. That's the biggest thing. Now that I have this little me back, I'm not going to do anything that's going to hurt that little me. I'm now going to cherish me, you know, and so I'm going to get the most I possibly can out of my life now. I mean, you know, we're in a society that our heads are down. We're you know, in this digital world, and we're slaves to it in some cases, and we're running 100 miles an hour, and we're missing our life. We never get to enjoy the present moment. And this brings you back to that. You only, you know, physically in the sense, you're only here once. Why not crank the fucking volume up and enjoy it and do the work to get there, because your life is going to change and you're going to experience things like you've never experienced before. And you're going to have so much joy and love and happiness, and everybody's going to walk around and go, what happened to you? Like, I want what you've got. And when you're like that, people hang around you. You become the light for them.
Yep.
And then some of that wears off on them, you know. So your family, your friends, they'll start acting and behaving and start opening themselves up to experience the same thing, and then they bring it to their kids, and then it goes so on and so on and so on, and that's how we change the craziness of what's going on now, because we've got this mad world. Like I say, we're on a bus going 100 miles an hour off a cliff, and we're all fighting for the front seat. That's how insane society is. But yet, on the other hand, we have this beautiful transformative shift that's happening because of guys like Gerry, who's waking people up and saying, hey, this is life. This is the way we're supposed to live. We're supposed to live with our heads up, looking in each other's eyes, talking from the heart. And that's the way we're meant to be.
And I love that. And what he's saying is just so true, that when you leave here, you can be a part of the world in a way, and your own reward is giving. It's not getting, it's giving. And you'll get in this flow, and the more you give, the happier you are, and nobody can take the shit from you. It's fucking your shit. This is why you've got to come to Rythmia, and we want you here. I want to thank you guys for coming, and I so want to thank you for jumping in, dude. You went in deep. You went in deep. I love that. Okay, guys, until next week, peace, and we'll see you next week. God bless you all.